What's up, guys? Regan57. So I made a video on mentality and generally removing insecurities and shedding that doubt so we can get into a flow state. I made a follow-up video touching briefly on sleep, why I believe sleep patterns and cycles are important, and how they can be integrated into our training plans and be not only useful to us while we're preparing to succeed in esports, but also just in general in our lives to make us feel better and more rested. The next video I want to talk about, which is this one, is going to be focused on diet and exercise. So it may seem like this is a bit of a tangential thing when it comes to esports, but it's not. It's almost completely necessary and one of the most important things that actually it is completely necessary, excuse me, and it is one of the most important things that we need to be doing to maintain a healthy lifestyle and to train properly. So I want to talk about a few things. Number one, we need to cut soda. Period. We need to cut drinking soda. We need to quit drinking anything or eating anything that has high fructose corn syrup in it. You could find basically a plethora of information online, your local public library, on why high fructose corn syrup is so bad for you. Does anybody really want super concentrated corn that's used to flavor drinks in their body? The answer is no, you really don't. Trust me. If you don't trust me, go do your research. You'll find the same conclusion. Number two, quit eating fast food. It's just a quick get out of jail free card in terms of not wanting to cook our own food. That's plain and simple. I mean, go to a restaurant at least, for God's sake, a sit-down restaurant, one where they're going to prepare you a good meal. Don't go to McDonald's. Don't go to Taco Bell. Don't go to Chick-fil-A. Don't go to Burger King. Don't go to Wendy's. Trust me, man. If it has a bunch of grease and syrup in it and you don't even really know what else is in it, you probably shouldn't put it into your body. All right. Number three, no artificial sweeteners. We don't want to put artificial sweeteners into our body. No sucralose. We don't want aspartame. These substances, number one, are known to cause cancer. There's no debate in that. I mean, it's just a toxin. And if you're going to have sugar, might as well have the real thing. Cane sugar, man. The real deal. And that doesn't mean quit drinking the drinks that you love to drink all the time. You know, you can have, it's okay to have one every now and again. It's all about moderation. Just the other day, I had something called an unfiltered ginger brew. It's ginger beer without all that crap in it. Doesn't have high fructose corn syrup. It's made with real cane sugar. It's just carbonated water and some citric acid and some ginger, and it's delicious. Citric acid being a preservative. And I mean, it's okay to have every now and again you're drinking a little bit of soda, you're having a bit of raw cane sugar. That's good. I think it's actually awesome for you to be able to enjoy yourself, and that's what it's there for, as a treat. It's not something that we need to be drinking every day. Not only does it kind of mess with our brain chemistry a little bit, it just doesn't make you feel good. It's kind of harsh on your stomach. And not only that, but really we should be drinking more water. And that's sort of what I wanted to segue into is I don't believe that we're drinking enough water on a daily basis. Yeah, okay, you have an Nalgene next to you that maybe holds a liter of water and you probably drink one a day. I'm guilty of this too. The World Health Organization recommends, I believe, 2 liters of water a day as intake for an average adult human being. So you can go ahead and probably 2x that and be safe. So let's say it's 4 liters of water a day. How close are you really to drinking 4 liters of water a day? Imagine what a 2-liter bottle of soda looks like. I doubt that I'm pretty positive that 95% of people who are watching this video right now do not drink 2 liters of water a day, let alone 4 liters of water. And I sometimes don't even get to 2 liters of water a day myself, just because I completely forget. It slips my mind. It's super easy to not drink water unless you're thirsty. But the key is we need to be drinking water even when we're not thirsty, okay? So that kind of covers a little bit of the broad points I wanted to talk about. There are a couple of more advanced things that I can touch on that I have experience with, one being the ketogenic diet and 2 being a plant-based diet. I think generally eating healthier and being mindful of what we put into our bodies is going to be enough. But if you're looking to really elevate yourself and go for an increased yield on your investment, I recommend looking into one of those 2 diets. Ketogenic being essentially the polar opposite of plant-based. Ketogenic is essentially no carbs or low carb diet. So to stay in ketosis, you need something between 5 and 10, maybe 5 and 15 grams of carbohydrates per day, which means cutting sugar almost entirely. And that is pretty much the whole deal with keto. You want to cut sugar entirely. It's going to make you feel better. But if you deviate any way whatsoever from this diet, you're going to feel like crap for like 5 days. So do some research on ketogenic if that sounds interesting to you. I've had a lot of friends who've done it and they love it. The second one, which is the one that I'm actually doing right now, is a plant-based diet. That means no meat. That means no animal products whatsoever. It has nothing to do with moral concerns or political concerns. This is purely from a health standpoint. An amazing individual named Dr. Esselstyn wrote a couple of books. The main one being How to Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease. I encourage anybody to read it who's any questions about this diet or wants to know any of the scientific reasons behind it. And then the China study, very interesting stuff. If you don't have time to read or you're not interested in reading and you'd rather watch something, he has a documentary called Forks Over Knives on Netflix, and that'll do a good job of summing up why I decided to switch to a plant-based diet. And I find that not only is it much easier than I thought, it doesn't cost me nearly as much as any other diet would. It's actually rather cheap. So those are my takes quickly on eating and diet. Now the next part being exercise. So this especially pertains to somebody if you decide to do a ketogenic diet. If you're on a ketogenic diet, it's almost mandatory that you're doing high-intensity interval stuff if you want to ensure that you don't fall out of ketosis. And what I mean by high-intensity interval stuff is high-intensity interval training, and that's what it stands for. You can look up the acronym. It's HIIT. And really all you're doing is keeping yourself in a heightened state of anaerobic activity as often as possible. So what I would do, for example, is I would do a cycle of exercises. I would do, let's say, my first exercise would be ab related or core related. My second exercise would be bicep related. My third exercise would go back to the core, maybe a different section of the core. And then my fourth exercise would be, let's say, forearms or something. This is when I was doing rock climbing a lot and I was doing the keto diet. This is the bread and butter of exercise. I love it so much because you don't have to invest too much time in the gym. You're getting that anaerobic activity that we're looking for. And also, it hits the muscle groups that you want to hit. You can do it quickly and you're gone. Super nice. Another alternative to doing that is just any sort of cardio, whether it be swimming, biking, just running on a treadmill, running around your neighborhood or your condominium or whatever. Super important to get the heart rate up to make sure that we're actually producing enough work for the heart to experience some sort of gain. We don't want to just be sitting around on our butts all the time. Humans have not existed to be sedentary creatures until the past century, right? That's just not something that has been possible. So think about it that way. Think globally. Think broadly. Think about the umbrella, and make your decision based on that. Another couple of things I want to touch on is, although I do recommend a daily or maybe 5 days a week cardio. I think 5 days a week is probably good. So cardio or high intensity interval 5 days a week. That's roughly what I'm doing, and then alternating days, maybe 2 or 3 days a week, hitting muscle groups like your arms, where you're hitting forearm, bicep, tricep, shoulder, your back, your lats, delts, things like that, and also alternating that with legs, hitting calves, hitting quads, hitting glutes, your butt. It's really, really important that we maintain a healthy and physically active lifestyle. We don't want to just be getting bed sores sitting around and playing Fortnite looking like a bunch of zombies. You're going to feel better, you're going to look better, and trust me, you're going to play better, okay? And I have this strange theory, so bear with me. This is just like an opinion that I have and an observation I've been making. A lot of Counter-Strike professionals and FPS professionals tend to be kind of buff in the arms. And I think just because I've started lifting and doing more activity regarding my arms, I've noticed I've been getting in better shape. It's been a lot easier for me to play on a lower sense. My arm doesn't get nearly as sore as quickly. I'm able to do the motions that I would have to probably play on maybe an EDPI of like 50 or 60, and I'm doing it on an EDPI of 40. There's really just so many benefits that I probably couldn't even quantify it in one video. And I would probably need to sit down and write up a full report if I wanted to go into full detail. And that's what I plan on doing with my one-on-one coaching that I'm going to be launching here pretty soon. I've already received several messages of people who are really interested in getting involved and getting on board and seeing what I have to offer them. Some people have even said, use me as your guinea pig. And I love it, man. I love it. People are really interested in actually bettering themselves, and it makes me so happy. So thank you so much for everybody who's been watching the videos and leaving me feedback, positive and negative, or just questions. This is so great. I love being able to have some downtime at work during the day and check my phone and just answer some questions based on some of the stuff that I'm giving out. So thank you so much for all of the support you've been giving me, and I'm going to continue doing these videos for as long as I'm physically able to. And I look forward to seeing you at the next one. So this is, one more time, the Mental Meta. And this episode is on diet and exercise, and the next one will be more focused on muscle memory training and applicable practice styles in Fortnite. So thanks again, and I will see you next time.